This week on the Push Pull Legs podcast, we talk about the stages of rehab that you can do as a coach and why it might be important to get a hobby.
3, 2, 1. Back from my trip from Kent.
Hey guys, welcome to the Push Pull Legs podcast with myself, Damik.
And me, Tom Hall. What's going on, buddy?
Oh, good mate. I'm all good. How was Kent? How was lovely?
Well, I
Kent?
didn't go to Kent because I read the postcode wrong.
Well, there you go, mate. Well, you didn't go to Kent, so brilliant.
Yeah. It was really funny because obviously I said that in the podcast, but I only put the podcast out like way late Wednesday. I had shit to do. And then Emily messaged me. Was like, "Yeah, we're not in Kent, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I realised that now. I've actually properly put your postcode into the maps. But why isn't KT9 an area in Kent? Sounds like it should be in Kent. Yeah.
It does, mate. It sounds like it, doesn't it? What is the postcode for Kent? CH, isn't it? CH. Yeah, CH. My parents live in Kent.
Well, there's
CT.
this. I'm assuming it's based off where you are surrounding areas of like Canterbury. It'd be like CT or something like that.
Oh, of course, yeah. CT Canterbury.
Because obviously, like we have like Chelmsford back home. It's like that, or Southend and stuff like that. Ipswich would be IP. Obviously, KT. I didn't put together. I just assumed it was basically like a farm-based gym, but yeah, I was like Kent's pretty farmy, probably there. Didn't realize it was in Kingston. So actually, it wasn't as far.
Yeah.
It wasn't as far as what I had to go to. But yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it a little bit.
Oh, we've got another topic to talk about as well, mate. But I just realised I've seen it a couple of times and it's blown my mind. Not blown my mind a little bit, but I can't work out how it's nice. Remind me about the drink. Just say about the drink, and I'll remember what it was about.
Drink.
Yeah,
I got too many things I've written down now.
We need to see. I want to see if you can try it. I don't think I can try it over here. I don't think I've got the capabilities. You can try it and you can report back on whether it's nice or not. Remind me.
Okay. But yeah, I've had a splendid week.
Keep on watching to the end.
It's all right. I actually had a couple of messages from people who were like, "I cannot believe that I've listened to 10 minutes of you and Dan talk about oats and enjoyed it."
Damn right.
I was like,
damn right.
Yeah, correct.
Well, yeah, because not only, it's not that, is it? You learn something, you learn the best way to make oats. Like, it's not like it's useless information. It's very valid and very useful. So
I have had oats since as well. I haven't made them in Dan. I've busy boy, so I haven't made them in Dan's way. But yeah, it's been nice. But I had some nice eggs today, mate. I did some good eggs. Don't know if you saw my story.
Yeah, I had some eggs today as well. Always good eggs.
Yeah. Eggs, and I put some Gravlax on it with some like nice like mustardy sauce and stuff like that.
I need you now to tell me, Tom, the difference between Gravlax and smoked salmon. Is it the thickness?
No.
Is it the curing of it?
It's the curing. It's how it's prepared. I believe Gravlax has a lot more herb and based herbs that is kind of in it when it's cured. Definitely.
Well, I'll let you off because you know that.
Normally served with like a kind of light mustardy kind of herby dressing. It's pretty good. It tastes better than what it sounds like, and it is good.
No, it does.
Gravlax it tastes nicer than just normal smoked salmon.
I had my scrambled eggs with a bagel, and over here we found a place that does these amazing New York style bagels. They come frozen in a 6-pack. The reason this is really important is that most of the bagels over here are just round bits of bread, and they're just awful. They're nowhere near like bagels. You know, like bagels are got that chewiness and that they're just not like bagels in any way. And I've never had a good bagel here anyway. Even when you eat out in restaurants, it's not a bagel. It's just not a bagel. It's just like a round piece of bread. It's just not the same thing. And I'll fight anyone who thinks that a bagel is just a round piece of bread because it's not. And then Laura found some on a shop, and she ordered some. I had some the other day, and they are the best bagels I've had for a long, long time. And they're so good. They are so good. I'm actually happy about it, as you can tell, because I think bagels are one of the best bread-based products you could possibly
100%. I buy a pack of bagels every single week.
They're incredible.
They're so good.
I don't know what it is about them that makes them so good. Like it's the boiling in the water or what, I don't know, but it fucking works so well.
Do you ever have them untoasted?
No. I have done. I have done, but I don't. Yeah. I don't.
I wouldn't choose to.
No, it's
Yeah.
nice not warmed up. You have to warm them up to get the
Yeah,
full
it makes it
chewy
more
stuff.
like, yeah, the chewy kind of sponge and crisp bit. Otherwise, it's just really chewy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think, like, there's a couple of bagel places around me. There's one in Primrose Hill called
Mm.
It's Bagels. And I'm trying to think, that's like the proper, like, you go in and you ask for a schmear and then your topping. So you're like, all right, what's
Yeah.
the schmear that you're putting on? It'll be like, actually, I did have one from a place called, it's on Baker Street. It's blue. It's called Ruben's Deli. And
Yeah.
yeah, they have a. I ordered a spicy or peppery, um, like cheese. The smoke comes with like cream cheese, like pepper smoked, like smoked salmon. Fuck me, it was one of the spiciest things I've ever tasted in my life. Literally
Really?
crying. It's bad. It's bad. Not
Crying.
pleasant when you have that because yeah, you kind of just like lagging the whole time. But yeah,
Mm.
we're all good. But we've had a fun week. We've had a fun week, Dan. I went to sort of see Six, the musical. That was good, wasn't
Ooh.
it?
Not a fan of
Not too.
musicals, so not fussed.
No, I don't think it's allowed in Dubai. I don't think it's a it's a musical about female empowerment, basically. No,
Yeah, not allowed
probably
over
not.
there.
But it was
Although you
about
say that, but
Henry
actually you
VIII's
say that,
wives.
but you say that, but actually there was an interesting stat the other day that the UAE is lead. I think it was the other day. It has the most amount of female um, people high in power in government in like something like in the world or something like that. Because they were saying about the stereotype that's attracted to this part of the world, and they were saying that actually there's loads of women in high profile government positions in the UAE. There you go.
Lovely.
One stat
Oh.
for you because I'm a shill for them now. I'll just propaganda. I'll just say it just even without checking. But no, I saw it the other day. It's quite funny.
No,
But anyway,
fair.
carry on. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was fun. And now I have some of their girly songs in my head throughout the week. So I've just been
Stop
bopping
pretending like
along.
you don't love it.
Oh yeah, I do love it. I'm not pretending like I don't love it. I put it on like I literally listened to one today whilst I was walking to work. It was great. Just bopping through Marylebone, listening
Yeah.
to Henry VIII's wives sing. People think I'm listening to death metal. No, I'm not. Layers, mate.
I just
Absolute
find it odd
onion.
with you how it is either death metal or women singing like that like musical songs. I do find it odd about you.
Onion. I'm an onion. Right,
You make
yeah.
me cry. Yeah, fucking hell.
Or
Yeah,
or
must be
or
dangerous.
I've got like some sort of multiple personalities disorder. Either
Could be
or.
that.
Could be that one.
Yeah, you
Could be
know,
that.
call it.
Could be
Yeah,
that.
call it that. Yeah.
Right.
You're even onion or you're mentally ill, one of the two. So we'll decide what that could be.
We'll never know. We'll never
Who knows?
know. But yeah, what are we gonna? We're going to be chatting about. So what I've got written down because such a good guy of planning Dan's day out basically, or his next 2 hours. That's how Dan likes it. Doesn't like thinking for himself. That's basically what Mike does for Dan. It winds him up,
Yeah,
and then he's just
literally.
like.
That's literally what
So
happens.
yeah, that's
Quite
what
literally.
happens.
Yeah.
I just wanted we want to go over a little bit what I went over the weekend in terms of I guess it's more of the practice of rehabilitation. We end up talking a hell of a lot about rehab and a coach's kind of area responsibility
Yeah.
of helping rehab clients and when you should hand them off, when you should work with physios and be collaborative and stuff like that. So it definitely was a thing like when me and you would have been graduating at similar times. I feel
Mm.
like there was the first couple of years of us being coaches that like sports rehab and PTs doing rehab was a really big thing. And it was like, yeah,
Yeah.
it was seen as like kind of a like, oh, I'm smarter than you. And you were learning all these rehab terms. And then it kind of fucked off for a while. I don't know whether it's coming back. It feels like it's coming back because I just did a fucking workshop on it. But I try to make it as collaborative as when you come in after post physio. It
Mm.
should be always with a physio guidance and working through like 4 different phases of rehabilitation. Obviously, I was talking about the ankle, the knee, and the hip. Um, but how that, I don't know. Do you think, obviously you work with a lot of coaches, I don't know whether they're clued up on rehab and how they should be coping through maybe like capacity testing, range of motion testing, and then building their clients from like just common injuries like shin splints and maybe a little ankle roll. We got patellofemoral pain syndromes, probably a runner's knee is a big one, like ITB syndrome is another common one. Those kind of common things, especially with running and high being such a big thing currently, I think it's worth knowing what perhaps the stages of rehab they should be. So I put it, that workshop I did, I was like, all of you will walk away knowing 3 things that will improve range of motion, 3 things that will improve strength, 3 things that will improve isometric strength, and 3 things that will improve elasticity in all of the ankle, knee, and hip for all of those. I was like, we're going to have that in our arsenal, so we know we can do that when a physio like hands us off or helps us. Hopefully, you do have to refer. I think is a big thing, but I think you should try and collaborate with, not go. I'm not.
Yeah, I think when you collaborate with them, you see the thought process in it and you learn from it and then go, well, what could I add to this? Like, I think that's the key thing is it's like, what could I add to this? Not what could I take away or anything like that. Like, a good example of that is me with my knee, right? Is I said this on the other day on a call with my physio, is he said to me, he said, look, he said, you're going to be doing the same sort of stuff for the next sort of 3 months. He's like, there's nothing really crazy here. It's just graded exposure over time to see how resilient you are and all these things. And I was like, yeah, I get it 100%. And I said, the reason I'm doing this is because I would have jumped in quicker than this where we are currently. It was like, I would have just gone for it. I don't know the rates of how quickly these things, rehab. I was like, you do. I've never dealt with anyone with a torn meniscus. I said, I thought I would be back within 3-4 weeks lifting in the gym and fine. And the surgeon even said to me, he's like, yeah, you're fine. Just don't do any squats or lunges. And I'm like, there's a big range of difference there, isn't there? Well, what? Can I do like full 1 rep max leg press? Do you know what I mean? Like, and he was even said, oh, test out a few little like runs around the block. And physio was like, no, don't do that yet. No, nowhere near that. Like, so I think when you go through it with people, you realize as well, I think that any PT or coach who's just standing off and going, no, only come back to when you're fully fit, I think you're missing out on a huge learning opportunity for one. And number 2 is that what you realize with a lot of injuries is exactly that, is it's like actually most good physios want to get you back doing strength training as quickly as possible through a full range of motion as quickly as possible. And I think often if you're not exposed to that and you're not learning from a highly qualified, good physio from a rehab point of view, I do think you're potentially missing out on a lot of the confidence you can have on training someone who's coming back from an injury, because you'd realize they can handle more than you think. Like, I think there's a big thing with injured people that are just delicate and gentle and don't touch them and don't hurt them and ice and stretch. And it's like, no, you can put muscles through load. That's what's going to cause them to adapt and change and all these sorts of things. And I think we probably had a bit more exposure to that from football. About capacity and graded exposure to certain things and certain ranges of motion at certain time periods, what to look out for. But like you said, I think a lot of PTs would do very well upskilling on, like you said, the other one I would add to the mix is shoulders, is the whole fucking, rotator cuff. Okay, well, that doesn't really mean anything when you say, oh, rotator cuff's gone. Okay, that's what people say, isn't it? And they go, I can't do that, so I just won't use my arm for 2 months and then train again. It's like, no, if you knew what was going on there, you could potentially help. But I don't think you need to know, like you said, much more than those regular injuries that you see. I bet if you typed in on Google most common injuries people face, it's like those top 4. I'd go do those. You know what to do and how to heal them. Like you say, the patellofemoral pain is a big one. That everyone comes in with that. As soon as everyone starts running, oh, I'm hurting here. Yeah, you will be, because you started running. Oh, your glutes aren't firing. No, it's not your glutes aren't firing. You're just weak as piss, mate. It's like, my physio gave me these banded stuff. No, just fucking get strong and, whatever.
I mean,
lower back pain's another one. I think that is one that people hear all the time, and I don't think they really know what. They just go, don't lift heavy then. And you're like, really? Is that really the advice we're going to be giving out broadly? But it's because they don't know, so they're just scared, so they just say it.
That's the thing. Yeah, I think so all of the workshop was, we only had 4 hours, mate. So I can only do the lower limb.
yeah. Well, that's what part 2 is going to be all about, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, part 2 can be the upper limb, obviously, because they were like, oh yeah, it'd be really great to do the shoulder. I was like, we have not got enough time to do that. Trust me. I was like, people are like, oh, you're talking to 4 hours. I was like, trust me, it will fucking fly by. but yeah, it's very much like learning, I guess, learning when to do that kind of stuff. And also from a collaborative effect, I was like the first 35 minutes, 40 minutes of that talk, I was talking about adapting and adapting your training to it and how you fit in these exercises. It doesn't mean most people, it just obliterates your program. And it's like, no, 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 no. We still have this system that we have created. We still train in triplets or supersets. It just, all right, you have patellofemoral pain syndrome. Cool. More than likely, full knee flexion is probably out. We have to rehab the knee. Okay, so we look at what in your program or what designates, so probably squat patterns, unilateral squat patterns, lunge patterns, hinge patterns possibly, will be the ones where we insert certain rehab here, whether it be range of motion increase, whether it be isometric tension, whether it be reactive stuff. Okay, we insert that rehab into those positions and then keep your upper body and your core based stuff exactly the same. And we're just like, if you may need to change it if it's a standing based exercise, cool, make it like fucking prone or supine. It's okay. And I think that was not eye opening for some of the people, but it was like, oh shit, yeah. Because I was like, you still want revenue. I'm pretty sure you still want to make money. You still want your client to come in, and that is your source of revenue. Why not teach your client that, yeah, that's training around injuries, but we can still have that graded exposure during getting them fucking sweaty. That's my one pet peeve of when a physio, I get the first 2 sessions of a physiotherapist, are generally like learning to do, started to graduate, you're getting more comfortable with that joint. But there's some people, good physios out there like Tom, there's a guy called Nick Goof, like Rob Madden, all these guys that I work really closely with. They will do exactly the session I just said. And they will do their little physio bits, but then suddenly they're off doing a half kneeling overhead press. And you're like, yeah, thumbs up, see? Because because that's what they could do. If they're like, actually, this is a waste of fucking time. I'm not going to just sit here and go, oh, I need to rest for 3 minutes because that's what the literature says. No, fuck off. Or we're going to go and train your upper body and do that kind of stuff. That's still the resting period is still annoying me. I saw that the other day. Like, still annoys me because I'm one who, unless you're a strong man or a powerlifter, I don't really program any rest ever. Bad, isn't it? Bad, mate. Bad man.
Very bad, mate. Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was interesting to see what everybody's. I think the biggest, I'd say, takeaways is people learning, and obviously it's becoming. It's definitely more the echo chamber that I live on Instagram, right? Is like gradual exposure to plyometrics. Is people don't know where they're starting from, really. So I just taught a kind of rudimental like hop series. So you can kind of go through like a 7-stage of getting better through there and then start to add a little bit more height and knee flexion, then hip flexion, all this kind of stuff, and vectors. But that seemed quite, I don't know, new to a lot of coaches, I think it felt.
Yeah, it will do.
So, because it looks silly, doesn't it? Like doing pogos and reverse pogos and lateral pogos sometimes looks a bit silly. And you're like, you don't want to be the person that looks silly. You're like,
Doesn't you do it? Yeah.
It's all about what we're doing with those tendons. So yeah, there's a lot of soft tissue that we do. So yeah, it was a good talk though. Good chat. Lots of cool people. All females, Dan.
All females.
Wasn't
Well,
me.
you'd have fit right in them, wouldn't you? You're a female. So
Yeah. We put 6 on. We're loving it. Yeah. They were like, I put a picture of you up and they were like, ew.
Yeah, get that guy.
Oh,
There's this
icky
guy from the
boy.
podcast. Oh, no one likes that guy from the podcast. Everyone's
They were like, who?
Yeah.
I did obviously mention I do a podcast. And I was just like, unfortunately, Emily, who is here, who owns this facility, listens to it still and has listened to it since the start, unfortunately. Poor girl. I know this podcast, and she's got like 3 kids now. It's mad.
Yeah,
insane.
I saw. Yeah,
absolutely loving it. Really cool little facility though. Outside place. So don't go to Kent to find it. Definitely go to Kingston.
yeah, I would go Kingston, not Kent.
The Barn KT9, I think it's called. You'll find it. You'll find it if you're a female around that area, around I think Surrey, definitely in Surrey or South London. Yeah, go find it. Go find it. It's good fun though.
Find it.
Good fun. Dan, I realized that I possibly had the most boring Amazon order that I made yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Ever. Yeah. Do you want to know what was in it?
Post-it notes.
Got it here. This is
Okay,
riveting,
you're
isn't
opening it live, are you?
it?
Or you just
Open it
kept it in
up.
the envelope?
So in here, so
Big.
this isn't all of it as well. So there's another one coming. And I'll tell you what's in this one, in that one. I bought larger, so there's more pages. Instead of 50 odd, there's going to be 104 pages to
Yeah.
this next time. Because I go through these like nobody's business. It's mad. Because I have like just one for like client check-ins and then one for
Yeah.
actual work. Crazy. So I got that. I bought a power socket small tower.
That is boring.
That's
Yeah.
exciting, isn't it? And I bought some cable tidies. It's good, isn't
You're
it?
such an adult.
I bought another power tower, a bigger one, to go next to the TV. And then I bought a box for cables to go in, so they'd be tidy. Cable. And then
Remember when this podcast used to be like fun and used to be like about cool stuff? Remember that? It was about a day ago. No, it was about 2 hours ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, no.
I thought everybody. It's just like I realized when I was doing it yesterday when I was just buying. And obviously, it's like, oh, I need that. I need that. I need that. And then I also bought some like desk tidy stuff, like some to
Right.
tidy my
Well, let's
folders
talk
up.
about let's jazz it up, mate. Let's talk about the we're going to talk about this viral drink that's been going around. So I want you to actually try it out. To be fair, Tom, I think you can do it. So what you need to do is
Are
you
we
need to get
pausing the podcast and I'm running away, or what?
no, no, no. You just at some point do it, and I think
I
you
got
need to do it as
Deliveroo
a
it by the
film
end of
it.
the show.
You need to film it as a reel.
Okay.
So basically, the viral thing that's going around in America is that you mix a ready to drink vanilla protein shake. So like the equivalent would be like a Bear Bells when you're like vanilla ready to drink with Diet Coke. And it's supposed to be like a root like a not like a root beer, but like a Diet
Like
Coke float. A Coke
Coke
float.
float. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and apparently it's good. I mean, it sounds horrific, but it's this viral thing going around that apparently, let me just find because I saw one of my ex-clients, Phoebe, posted it. Yeah. Yeah, it's like you get a big cup with a straw, loads of ice, and you get a ready to drink protein drink vanilla, and then you top a Coke Zero, sorry, not Diet Coke. Coke Zero has to be sweeter, I assume. And apparently it's good. And apparently, like, it shouldn't be nice, and you don't think it's gonna be nice, but it is, and there's no getting around it.
I just feel like the fizziness. It's not the like curdle, is it?
I just think you need to try it, mate. I don't think so. It doesn't look it. It doesn't look curdled in the drink. It doesn't
Do you
look
have
it.
like you don't like whisk it up, do you?
No, you just pour. So the way that they've gone about it is that this the ice first, then the vanilla protein shake, and then the Coke on top is the bit that goes on at the end, and then they just drink it with a straw. Uh,
I don't
apparently it's a
know.
viral thing that's going around in America.
Mm.
So I
Why
just
have
think
you
you should
not
try
done
it.
it? Why have you not done it?
Well, we can't really. The ready to drink protein over here is not good, but also the Diet Coke over here is not the same. It's nowhere near as sweet. It wouldn't be anywhere near as
You're
nice.
not.
Just wouldn't be good. Yeah, that's why I think you need to try it.
So
Me.
what ready-made Bear Bells is the
I think
normal
Bear
one,
Bells would
isn't
be
it?
the best one, the one that I can think of. You know, maybe
Yeah.
I don't know if Card Killer do one.
No, I don't know. I don't. It's really bad. We're in fitness. I don't really buy protein shakes ever.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I haven't bought any protein powder for ages either. I just
No,
can't.
I've still got some, but I haven't used it. I haven't used it for a while. Just that whole
Probably should.
whole thing has just been replaced with fucking energy gels. But I haven't fucking done that as well.
Oh,
First
energy
time
gels.
I went on back on a bike yesterday, first time, and I was like,
Bet that was horrific.
it was grim.
Yeah,
I
I bet.
barely maintained what I did for like the whole fucking thing for like 30 minutes. I was like, I'm fit. Good job. Good job. I've let myself go. But yeah, I'll try it, mate. I'll try it. I'll report back. We'll report back. We'll see. Well, maybe that might. I'll do it in the middle of the gym, just like yeah, and then brush it, and it will go everywhere. That's definitely going to happen, isn't it?
I think so, mate. I think it'll look good doing that as well. Make sure you do that. Film that bit as well.
I think so. Right, we wanted to talk vaguely, probably as our kind of ranty topic. Not ranty topic. I think it goes for a lot of people. I don't know whether people struggle with this as well in terms of hobbies. Not me going, why don't you got a fucking hobby, you boring shit? But coaches get a hobby.
Yeah,
other than what you do for a job.
I think it makes them more rounded as an individual. I think too many coaches are very one-dimensional, and fitness is actually really boring. I think it's something that people can relate to a little bit. Again, obviously, there's no secret that I play golf and Tom plays golf. But I wrote a post about it the other day, and it's kind of like, I think it reminds you what it feels like to be a beginner at something, or to not be very good at something, or to not know where to turn for help with something, or what you naturally would do. And it's like, you naturally would go for the shiny objects. You do watch YouTube videos. You do these things. Why do you follow a creator, for example, that's into the same hobby you're into? Like, it gives you an insight into being better at your job and better on social media and better with your content, if you pay attention to it anyway. And you realize that you grow, into your hobby and all these sorts of things. And this thing gives you a really good understanding that for most people, fitness is a hobby. So if you look at CrossFit, look at High Rocks, you look at triathlon, don't know why that's a fucking hobby, but people do these things as hobbies, right? They do them a lot of the time. So if them, for you it's your job and for you it's your thing. Lovely little medal there, Tom. For you it's your thing, but I just think that you have to have more to you than just fitness. And it's obviously going to carry over to that, but I just think it makes you well-rounded. And I think when I look at some of the people that I work with that are doing really well, one trait that they have is that they do other things outside of fitness. They're not all about fitness. It's not like, again, like I use the bodybuilders as an example. It's like, it just becomes a bit much. It's like, okay, you love fitness. Brilliant. Well done. Okay, you love going to the gym. Like, I've never once loved going to the gym. I don't get it. I don't get how people love going to the gym. I talked about this, remember, all those years ago before you interviewed AJ Morris. It's like, last day on earth, what would you do? Go to the gym. No way would I be. I'd be going golf course. I'd be going to the golf course is what I'd be doing, definitely. I think it's that. I think it's just remembering that. It's like, to some people it is. But I just think it really rounds a coach, rounds their content. I think it helps them understand, like, say, loads of different things. I think I also wrote down about it. I think golf's a little bit different because there's some certain aspects of golf that I like over other hobbies, for example. But it is about doing something new and being a beginner and knowing what that feels like. I think is really important, because I think you the carryover for then how people feel about their fitness. I think you understand it a bit more. You understand why people do it, their thoughts and feelings. Yeah, I think it's just important.
Not even from like that kind of. It's such a gets you thinking. It's that whole kind of, you probably be able to have more creative ideas about what you're doing with your content elsewhere, because your mind is on something else, and you're like, how do I relate? I was like, shit, this feels like what I have to do with my client and fat loss or something like that. How I'm learning this in golf, or how I'm as one obviously golf hobby. I wouldn't say going to musicals is a hobby. I have a guitar right next to me. I don't play it enough, not a hobby. But I will be doing something. I will be. I've just signed up for something, Daniel, which is Spanish classes.
Ooh.
So that's going to be my new thing. I'm going to be a completely fucking learner again, novice, beginner, which will be interesting. But yeah, it'll probably give me different avenues into how you feel a little bit vulnerable, let's say, in your content, and how you come across like that. I think it just makes it more interesting. But yeah, I've definitely, from the whole golf thing, I've actually got I started filming a new Instagram series based off some golf YouTube, golf followers, because I was like, I can take that idea, I can spin it, and turn it into a gym-based thing. There's no reason why not. That's in my niche. Yeah, and do it that way, because it just seemed more like, yeah, you should take in, not obviously golf's a hobby, but yeah, it's taking like inspiration. Then you don't become one dimensional, because I feel like the people who get stuck about their content or fitness and stuff are the people who only absorb fitness content.
Yes.
And you're
Correct.
like, okay,
And they're only exposed to fitness as a thing.
yeah. And you're like, do you watch cookery programs or have cooking content or anything like that? I'm sure, like, if we went through our Instagrams on there, I have a lot of obviously fitness content because my bit more about education, but it's usually golf. There's like some reaction videos of like to food, and there's a hell of a lot of food, to be honest, because is that a hobby? Food's a hobby, isn't it?
Yeah.
I like food.
Yeah.
Eating food's more of a necessity, but being a foodie, I would unfortunately put myself in the category of like, I like going for like decent food and like talking about food, doing that kind of stuff. That you put it in there, and like some of those entertainment shows and stuff like that. So like the lads that do the lists always watch their stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
Like that's all they fucking do on their whole
It
thing.
is that exposure to, like,
yeah.
to other things that I think is important, other styles of content. And again, I just think people need to see how they absorb all this stuff, how they do it, how they go through these things. I think it just opens people's eyes to make them realize that they don't just seek out boring fucking Canva content or shitty reels all about 3 tips on how you can do this. It's like, no, you go for personalities, you go for people who are at a similar level to you, you go for people who have good background, who are funny or engaging, interesting, something about them. It's just that element to it that I think people will see and resonate with. Like, there's a reason why, for example, like me and Joel, fucking hell, me and Mike just read
You working
something.
with Joel Seaman now?
Yeah, can you imagine?
What the hell?
It's like, there's a reason why we like different golf YouTubers, and it's because of the level we're at. So like, I don't
That's
like
just a
watching.
backhanded way of saying Mike shit.
Yeah, well, no, I'll literally say that as it is. I don't mind. But like, I'd rather watch better golfers play with better people. So like, I like watching, for example, Bryson DeChambeau's series where he
Rick
just played
Shields,
50.
right? Yeah.
Not Rick Shields. I watch him lose. Whereas he'll watch like Four Brothers or Tubes and Ange, and I'm like, I'm just not as bothered with that like side
Yeah,
of stuff. Whereas I watch Jimmy Bullard because he's a good golfer. So it's just interesting how like you just have these different things. I think it's good for people to realize that that's what you do. And I think that when you then think about the own content you put out, you have a slightly different slant on it. I think so. Yeah, there you go. Just something that I came up randomly the other week, which I think is important for coaches to do, because fitness, like I said, is very, very one-dimensional and very boring. So
that reminds me literally of a conversation I had with a girl that I dated for like 3 months, and literally when we were parting ways, that's one of the things I told her to do. I was like,
Really?
I think you need a hobby.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah, because I was like, it feels like you don't have a lot else. Obviously, I only dated her for like 3 months or so. But I was like, it felt like you didn't have another interest. You know, when somebody else is just she just had job and like nothing else really, like seeing friends, and that was it. I was like, where is your other focus? I don't really, what are you striving to get better at or succeed at? What are you proud of? All this kind of stuff. And yeah, that's what I want to see. Like, there's stuff that Dan's proud that he beat 3 terrible golfers last week by himself. He's super proud. He was the most proud I've ever seen him.
I'm more proud of beating you whenever I play you.
Are you up by like 3-2 or 4-2?
I think it's more than that. I think it's
definitely
4-2.
not.
I think it's by 2 though. That's what I mean. It's
but
by
I think
2.
it's by
not
2.
by 1.
I think I'm two down. I think in terms of that is batch holidays, so it's like a full tournament.
It's either 3-1 or 4-2. I can't work it out. It must be 3-1. We've not had that many. 3-1, I think.
Really? How many times have I been to
is.
Dubai? I feel like I've been to Dubai 4 times.
3 and then 1 in Italy. I think you won Italy.
Yeah, but I've won before. I've won in Dubai once, 100%.
Have you?
Definitely have. Yeah.
Maybe it's 3-2 then.
I know you're up. I know you're up.
I'm up. I thought it was up by more than 1, but never mind. Oh, well, next time you come over, I'll make it by 2. It's fine. It's not a problem.
It's right. I'm gonna hit him in the knee. It's fine.
Yeah, fucking not too fair. You can do that. Floor me.
But yeah, you end up feeling proud about whatever that hobby is, and then people get excited about it, and then people talk to you about it, and then you're able to be like, coach with me. That's what I do.
Mm.
That's how I get my leads. But yeah, it definitely gives you a different avenue. I think people should. I think, and also don't go down the road of like, oh, my kids are my hobby.
No, they're not.
You literally kids are your kids. And also that's a sticky subject. Like whenever I have kids, just like Dan, to be honest, they won't really be featuring ever at all on social media because I think that's weird. I think it
Yeah.
should be about it's not exposing your child to things unless both your parents are very much like we are social media content people. It's just not gonna happen. I feel like private life's got to stay private for a certain amount of time.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how relevant it is a lot of the time. Again, like the odd thing here and there, I think to show that you're a parent is fine.
Yeah.
But you don't need every day like fucking kids playing up on it. I would think so, but again, each to their own, each to their own, each to their own with that.
Unless it's I do follow a page called Kids Getting Hurt. So thanks guys for putting that up.
That's quite funny though. That's fine.
It's quite funny. There is something quite amusing about kids getting hurt. So that's all good. Right, man. We will call this to a close. Any other business?
Not from me, no.
Not from you. I don't think it's from me either. Nothing. Nothing. I feel like, I mean, like last week was miserable. This week is like a very kind of like meh, very just meh week.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Week.
Yeah,
but well, of course, the next few weeks, mate, we've got a lot less meh because when's the election for the US? That's gonna be pretty soon. We're gonna be fucking. That's a meh week.
5th of November.
Yeah, that's gonna be a meh week.
But next week, next Tuesday, guys, is my birthday, so you can all have I don't know, drink.
I want that fucking chocolate cake. That's what I want.
You gotta go to Leeds now, mate, or order it in because it's not in London anymore. How annoying is that?
I'll be fairly near Leeds, to be fair, when I'm back. So,
where are you going? Nottingham, probably.
Nottingham, yeah.
Yeah, of course he is. Well, if you want to go to London, then I'm not going to Nottingham. It's too far.
Yeah, no, maybe.
If I want to go back in time, I'll end up going north. It's fine. Oh, people will be angry with that.
True though, isn't it?
True though, isn't it? Yeah, true. That's right. I've got plenty of like clients up there. You're good. All right. And I say it to them every week. It's fine. Right. Thanks for listening, guys. We will catch you. Well, we might catch you next week. I might have a day off. I don't know.
I was about to say I wouldn't
count on it.
Have a day off. Yeah. So might be election day. Might be election day.
All right. See you later, guys.
Good out.